and welcome to this week's Used Car Heaven. On the programme this week, Simon Hughes, the car doctor, is back in the surgery. Brad has more insider tips at the trading post. And this week's lucky viewer gets to drive three fantastic cars. A Mercedes-Benz, a BMW and a Lexus. Yes, Naz certainly has taste, but let's find out a little bit more about him. On this week's programme, we're looking for a new car for Naz Mirar. Naz is 36 and works in local government in Huddersfield. He's married with 3 children and currently drives a 10-year-old BMW 3 Series, it's a 316i. But he wants a new car that oozes class and has between £12,000 and £20,000 as his budget to spend. Hi Naz, nice to meet you.
Hi.
So you're after a new car at the moment.
That's right,
What are you looking for ideally?
I currently drive a BMW, so something along that range, you know. BMW.
You've been happy with your BM?
I have, yeah. And in fact, I quite like my BMW. I've been driving it for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So I like them, but looking to see what other models there are on offer.
Well, what about this? A Mercedes C240, an Elegance. It's the latest shape car. Mm-hmm. Do you like it?
Yeah, it looks good.
Like
Certainly looks good.
Yeah.
On the face of it, looks something that I'd be looking for, yeah.
It's got the right badge on it.
That's right.
I mean, what sort of money are you looking to spend, ideally?
Anything between, say, £12,000 to £20,000. So,
okay. Well, the Merc's at the top end of that range.
Right.
So it's within your budget. Mm-hmm. This is well within your budget.
That's right, yeah.
An X-Reg BMW 325.
Yeah.
I guess you like that already, don't you?
Yeah, I like, as I said, I like my BMWs, so I won't need much convincing on that, but let's see what
about the colour? Bright red?
That might be something that I have to consider.
Ideal colour,
I'm not too keen on red, to be honest. So.
No. And the final car is a Lexus, a GS300, a Series 2.
Yeah.
What you get with the Lexus is value for money because it's fully loaded with just about everything. It's a little bit bigger than the other two.
That's right, yeah.
And it's a little bit older as well.
Right, yeah. But this is like new territory for me. I don't think I've sat in one, let alone drive it. So.
Well, you get in everything on this car. I mean, it's fully loaded with all the kits. So jump in,
okay,
Naz, and we'll take it out for a spin.
Okay.
But before that, here's Brendan with a lowdown on the Lexus.
Now this car for me represents fantastic value for money, although I'm not sure it's what you're looking for, Naz. It is a Lexus GS 300. It's got average miles on the clock, about 44,000, but it is 4 years old. It's S from 98, but it's done nearly all of its depreciating. This car new would have been £31,000, but now you could pick it up probably for 15,000. All right, the interior is a bit dated and a bit plasticky, but it comes fully kitted, and by that I mean CD player, air conditioning, a good 4-speed automatic gearbox, but it's a Lexus. And the badge for me is the big problem. Sure, you get a 3-litre 6-cylinder inline engine pumping out a whopping 220 brake horsepower and 0 to 60 in a little bit over 8 seconds. But I'm not sure it's got that drivability that Naz is looking for. And back to the badge. I'm afraid it's a BMW 5 Series wannabe, this. You can take the car out of Toyota, but can you take Toyota out of the car?
I'm not so sure about the styling of this car. It sort of has slightly quirky looks on the outside. I mean, but inside it's very luxurious, isn't it?
It is, yeah, certainly very luxurious. You know, the dials and the interior and all the it's sort of fairly close to you, and you know, nicely designed.
It's got everything on it.
It has,
well.
yeah.
I mean, you name it. You've got your sunroof, you've got electric seats, you've got heated seats. Climate control, of course.
That's right, yeah. No, yeah, I've noticed all the electric switches.
They're all over the place.
That's right, yeah. And it's automatic as well, which is something that I hadn't considered. Most of the cars I've driven in the past have been manual.
You've always had a manual, have you?
Yeah. So.
Do you like the automatic?
It feels, yeah. I mean, it's sort of a lot easier to drive, isn't it?
It is.
You know, you've got a spare left hand with nothing to do.
Yeah. Just put it into D and away you go.
Right.
You don't need to worry about it. Do you?
Yeah.
Does it feel quite a big car to you? Because this is bigger than the Merc and the BMW.
It is, yeah. It's certainly, probably a bit bigger than I'd anticipated. And it's a 3-litre engine, isn't it?
3-litre engine. You've got 220 brake horsepower. It's rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It's got all the basics there.
But yes, it's got a lot to offer. But it seems a bit big for me.
Yeah. I mean, there's bags of room in the back. I mean, acres of room back there. Now, there's no doubt that this car isn't as sporting as the BMW, certainly, and probably not the Mercedes either. It's more of a cruiser, this car.
That's right, yeah.
And if you do a lot of motorway miles, I mean, you know, what better way than in something like this?
It's certainly a nice car. I won't knock it at all, but I'm not sure if it's the right car for
You're
me.
not quite sure. You're
Yeah.
having doubts about this, I suspect.
Yeah.
Well, Naz, there we are. Big luxury express, the Lexus GS 300.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, a lot of car. You know, obviously has a lot to offer. Gizmos inside, leather interior. Perhaps a bit too bulky and...
You found that at the time, didn't you? You thought it was very, very big and you couldn't see over the bonnet.
That's right, yeah, yeah. But, you know, for a person my size, I think I need something a bit more compact.
A bit more compact, you reckon?
Let's see what else there is on offer, and we'll decide at the end.
Maybe this car is, well, dare I say, a bit too much of an old man's car at this stage.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I'd like to think I'm still a bit younger than the driver of a Lexus, but
Not a car for the money.
A lot of car for the money. And
well, you get a chance to drive the other two, the BMW and the Mercedes, soon. But before that, I think we ought to see what our good old car doctor, Mr. Simon Hughes, is up to. He's in his surgery right now.
Well, today we're looking at a Rover 214, but this applies to 216s, 400 series, all sorts of different Rovers with this K-series engine in it. And the problem with this car is, well, it's got the 214 shuffle basically, in that you drive along down the road and when you change gear, it'll sort of give it a bit of this, and then it'll drive perfectly normally. It doesn't matter what gear you're in or anything like that. And it's actually quite a common problem that Fox's mechanics no end. It's even, I know in the early days, it's certainly Fox main dealers. So much so they were fitting ECUs, fuel injection systems, all sorts of stuff. But if your car's doing it, it can be repaired at your house for less than £10. And it's as simple as this, look at this. We've got the distributor cap and rotor arm here at the end of the engine. And this is quite a common problem on cars, but the symptoms are just different on this. On the distributor cap, we've got this centre brush here, which wears out, it sort of burns out basically. And when it burns out, the car should stop, but it doesn't. It keeps running perfectly normally. And just the combination of driving and engine revs and load on the engine when you change gear brings this problem to light. So if your car does do it, and I can assure you if it's not done it yet, it will do it sometime, then you need to go down to your car accessory place, get a distributor cap and a rotor arm, pop them on and it'll magically cure it. So it's quite a simple repair that you can undertake yourself, and don't be fooled into spending money on anything more expensive than that.
You know, it's funny how a visit to Simon Hughes in the surgery never seems to be a painful experience. There'll be more from the car doctor at the same time next week here on Used Car Heaven. But on this week's programme, we're looking to find a new prestige car for Naz. He's already driven the Lexus GS 300. Now's your chance, Naz, to drive this very nice, very desirable BMW 325. But before that, here's Brendan with all the details about the Beamer.
Now Naz, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I've heard that you've had BMWs before, and this car does exactly what it says on the tin. It is a motorway mileage muncher. This is a 325 injection, 6 cylinders, just short of 200 brake horsepower. So it's got all of that drivability that you wanted, but space is limited. Get 3 kids in here and it's going to be like a kindergarten on wheels. Now this car I would describe as in very good condition rather than excellent. There is quite a bit of evidence of stone chip work on the front, and it's just a bit ropey inside, and the dash and everything I would describe as plain. It's quite high mileage, 54,000 miles, and it's on an 01X plate, so quite new really and quite high mileage. For this model you'd be expecting to pay about 16 grand. But you are paying for all of those horsepower. A similar car with similar mileage, but a 318 say, would cost you about 2.5 grand less. But all in all, without the leather interior, this car is very nice indeed. But Naz, it's over to you.
Thanks very much, Brendan. Well, here we are in the BMW 325. And Naz, does this feel like you're back at home again?
Yeah, it certainly feels like back at home, yeah. I'm used to driving the BMWs, so
yeah.
It certainly feels that we're back there again.
Absolutely. Now, this is a 325, 192 brake horsepower,
yeah.
6-cylinder engine, of course, so bags of power there.
Heavy stuff, yeah.
It's comparatively cheap car, this, because it's only 2 years old, but it's done a fairly high mileage. It's done, what, 54,000 miles?
Yeah.
25 grand new, and this would cost you £15,000, but it's a lot of car for the money.
It is, yeah. I mean, you know, obviously it hasn't as much to offer as the previous one that we tried, the Lexus, but still, this feels more like home.
Yeah.
And
what about the size of it?
Yeah,
this feels
a lot more
feels
compact
right.
and just feels about right. I'm sold on BMWs anyway, so I don't need much convincing.
There, no.
And this combines the sporty look with the family type car that I'm looking for. Yeah. So this would certainly come into the category, and you know, it'd be one that I'd definitely consider.
Now, you never had an automatic car before, had you?
No, never.
Quite like the Lexus gearbox. I mean, how does it feel back in a manual now? Or is this the way forward for you, do you think? Or...
Well, this is what I'm used to. So, I mean, with the automatic, you know, I was tempted to actually slip it into first gear every time we took off. But I don't think there's that much to choose between the two in terms of if I had an automatic car and if I liked it.
You're not too bothered either way, to be honest.
Wouldn't rule it out,
no.
Just on the fact that it was automatic.
Yeah. Well, Naz, there we are, the BMW 325, a car that's maybe more what you were after, do you reckon?
Yeah, a lot closer to what I'm looking for. Obviously, you know, I'm quite used to driving the BMWs, so you know, quite familiar with the surroundings and what he has to offer.
Glorious engine, 2.5 litre, 6-cylinder, 190 odd brake horsepower.
Absolutely, very powerful, quite a bite to it. And the thing I like about it is that it looks fairly sporty, combined with the family saloon that I'm looking for. So yeah.
The letdowns on this car, I guess, first of all, the colour, which is not fantastic on a BMW, red, bright red.
Yeah, not too keen on the colour, I'm afraid, yeah.
And the interior is a little bit on the bland side, isn't it?
Slightly, yeah. I would have thought that they would have made certain changes to the interior and make it a bit more appealing, but slightly on the dull side, yeah.
But it's within your budget, 15 grand. You like this car?
Yeah, I'd say so, very much so, yeah.
Okay, you've driven the Lexus, driven the BMW, get a chance to drive the Mercedes soon. But before that, we need to take a break here on Used Car Heaven. We'll be back in a couple of minutes' time. Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Used Car Heaven. On this week's programme, we're looking to find a new car for Naz, who's looking for something with a good badge on it. He's already driven a Lexus GS 300 and the BMW 325 and been impressed in certain ways with both cars. But what about the Mercedes-Benz C-Class? He'll be driving that soon. Also coming up in this part of the programme, Brad will have more insider tips at the trading post. But before all of that, Brendan Coogan has an alternative car that might interest Naz.
This alternative, Naz, I know is not what you were looking for, but have a bit of originality, Autobahn munchers. This Volvo is cool, stylish, sexy. Think Ulrika, Sven, IKEA, ABBA, Sweden. It's the new black. Look at those lines. If that's not the automotive equivalent of a page 3 girl, I don't know what is. Performance? Well, under the bonnet of this C70 GT is a 2.3 litre 5-cylinder 240 brake horsepower engine. It'll get you from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. Drivability perhaps isn't what it should be. The chassis is already 5 years old, but it's front wheel drive and it's a cracker. And it's a lot of car for your money as well. Have a look inside. It's probably not what you want, Naz, but hear me out. Have a look inside. Now, I know what you're going to say, it's no family car, but it is spacious. It's going to be a bit cramped in the back for the kids, but whose money is this, Naz? And anyway, the depreciation of this car means that you're getting well over £30,000 worth of car for a little over 15.5. This car is V99, it's got well below average miles and it's fully serviced and fully kitted. And with the 5 grand you've got left over, go and buy a little Peugeot for the family. This car, Naz, would be for you.
Thanks, Brendan, for this week's alternative suggestion for Naz, but will it be good enough to tempt him away from the likes of the Lexus, the BMW and the Mercedes-Benz that we've set up for him to drive on this week's programme? Well, Naz, here's your chance now to drive the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. We'll get a verdict from Naz very soon, but before that, here's Brendan's say on the Mercedes-Benz.
Ah, if those nice men and women at Mercedes are to be believed, there's only one thing better than a new Mercedes-Benz, and that's a used Mercedes-Benz. But for a car notorious for not devaluing and depreciating, this car has already lost a whole chunk of money. And where it beats the BMW hands down is in the cruising stakes and in the interior space. Have a look at this. It's a C240 automatic, and as the badge on the side suggests, elegance. It's a car for cruising. Now, I don't want to sound like one of those men that goes on about the size all the time, if you know what I mean, but I'm a big fella, and there's bags of room for me, and if there was another one of me there, there'd be bags of room for him too. And that's what the advantage of this car is over the BMW. This is a big car. Price-wise, well, it's average miles. It's a Y01, of course, with 18,000 miles, which is bang on average. And for this car, you'd want to pay just under £20,000. But you can shop around for higher mileage cars and get a lot knocked off. And the automatic gearbox does cost you about £1,500.
Well, thanks very much, Brendan. We're here now in the Mercedes C-Class, the third of our 3 cars that we've got for Naz. Naz, this is a C240. It's badged a C240, but it's slightly confusing because you actually get a 2.6 cylinder engine in it. Right. It's a V6, 170 brake horsepower. So of the 3, this is actually the least powerful car.
Right.
But it's very smooth, isn't it?
It is very smooth, luxury, well, elegance, and I think it is very elegant. So impressed from it right from the outset, not only just with the look outside, but the interior, the nice use of light colours and complemented with the walnut dash. Yeah, obviously you've got a dark colour outside, but inside this sort of sets it off, doesn't it? That's right, yeah. Yeah, it's a nice use of light colours, I think. I really like it.
I mean, one thing I always find slightly disappointing about BMWs is the cabins can be a bit dull. Yeah. But this is different, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, the BMW we drove earlier was very darker inside, and I like the light use of colours in here, which brightens it up a bit. You know, with the walnut dash, and I like the interior as well, where it's sort of flashing at you and almost as if it's talking to you. Yeah. And these C-Class, the latest C-Class model like this, I mean, to me look like a mini version of the big S-Class, the luxury. Yeah.
You know, quick glance and you think, oh, was that a C-Class or was it an S-Class?
That's right, yeah.
And you've got bags of space in the back.
Yeah, it's a nice, I like it, you know, it's nice to look at from the outside. It doesn't look too bulky, like some of the other Mercedes tend to do. And nice and compact inside as well, you know, I feel...
It's got a good boost on it as well.
That's right.
It's a well-equipped car.
Yeah.
Cost £28,000 when it was new, this. It's on a Y plate.
Right.
It's the newest of the 3 cars. It's done 18,000 miles and it's now 19.5 grand. So it's just within your price.
Just within. Obviously, out of the 3, it's probably the most expensive. But I'm impressed with it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of beginning to forget my BMW. I think.
Yeah, I can see you've got this sort of look on your face.
That's right.
Maybe it's a time to change away from a BMW into a Merc instead.
Yeah, I think this does it.
Well, Naz, I think the minute you stepped inside the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, I think you liked it immediately, didn't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, very pleasing on the eye from the outside, but not as, you know, a nice drive, and the interior is quite nice as well. Nice.
It's just about the right sort of size for a car, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You know, compared to the Lexus, obviously, it is slightly more compact, which is good for a person my size. And I quite like the colour scheme inside. It made it lighter, which makes it stand out a bit more.
Good layout, good engine on this car.
Yeah, yeah, very much so.
Yeah. What about the price of it? I mean, this is quite a bit more expensive than the other 2 cars at 19.5 grand.
It is, yeah, it is. But having said that, it's probably not as old as the other 2. So I suppose there's a bit of give and take in the price there. But I think for what it's got to offer,
you could be happy to
probably be willing to part with that sort of money, just you know, to take it.
We don't want your final verdict just yet, Naz, but I think I know where you're heading. Before that, buying any new car, you need a little bit of inside information, and I know a man who's got the inside information. It's Brad, and he's at the Trading Post.
Today I'm going to talk about the E-Class Mercedes. Very pretty mid-range executive car. Model came out in 1997 and you can pick up one of those today for about £9,000. This one is a year old with a list price of about £35,000. Average mileage today around about £23,000. There has been a new E-Class recently launched, so models like this you can pick up at favourable prices. Specification is very important when you're buying a Mercedes, the bigger the better. Big wheels, leather, automatic gearbox. 2 trim levels, elegance or avant-garde. Elegance being a softer ride with a wood trim, avant-garde being a bit more sporty ride with a black wood trim. Service history, very important when you're buying a Mercedes. Check that it is dealer service history, all important when you come to resell the car. I'll be back here again next week, hopefully it won't be raining.
And there'll be more from Brad on the Trading Post next week here on Used Car Heaven, but now it's decision time for you, Naz. You've had a good time driving the cars today, I hope?
I have indeed, yeah.
So we like to do it in reverse order. What are you putting third?
Third place is the Lexus Gs 300. Nice car in itself, but a bit too big for my liking.
A bit too old as well.
A bit too old as well, yeah. So
in second place, I thought you were a BMW man.
I thought so too.
You put this second, have you?
Yes, second. I've been driven it for a while, for a good few years. I think it's time to now move on to something slightly different.
And would that slightly different car perhaps be this Mercedes-Benz C-Class by any chance?
It would indeed. This is the car for me. Yep.
You liked this as soon as you got in it, didn't you?
I did indeed, yeah. Yeah. It's a nice, classy to look at, nice drive, and well pleased with the interior as well.
And you'd be happy to spend the money on this?
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah. And about the family, I mean, they've been watching your every move today. Are they in accordance with this decision?
Yes, we've had a consultation and we're all in agreement that this is the car for the next few years.
Well, that's half the battle won anyway.
Absolutely.
Naz, thank you very much for your time today.
Cheers.
That's it for this week's Used Car Heaven. We'll be back again at the same time next week.